In the cold void of space, where ancient empires crumble into dust and the cosmos trembles under the weight of forgotten power, Captain Darius Hawk Blackwood roars into battle, ready to prove that humanity's fiery defiance is the spark that will shatter the chains of galactic tyranny. Captain Darius Hawk Blackwood's voice cut through the static of the comms, raw determination lacing every word. Listen up, everyone. We're not just here to scavenge relics. We're here to prove that the galaxy made a fatal mistake when it wrote us off. His words, edged with battle-hardened confidence, reverberated across the battered ship as it limped through the fringes of controlled space. The metallic hum of the vessel was the only counterpoint to his fervor, but in the tight confines of his command module, every crew member could feel the spark of defiance. They told us to stay in our place, to keep our distance from the civilized beings of the Interstellar Council. Hawk continued, his tone simmering with indignation. Well, I say it's time to remind them why humanity's fire can't be extinguished. A sudden shudder ran through the ship, a violent tremor that sent tools clattering and crew members bracing themselves. The disturbance wasn't a drill. It was the beginning of something far greater. Hawk's eyes narrowed as he scanned the readouts, and without missing a beat, he barked. Prepare for impact. This isn't just another cosmic quirk. It's the storm the Council warned us about. In the cramped space, murmurs of anticipation blended with anxiety. The crew, a motley band of renegades and outcasts, had long learned to trust Hawk's instincts. His reputation for turning dire circumstances into opportunities had earned him their unwavering loyalty. Captain, came the clipped report of his first officer, voice steady despite the turmoil. The ship's sensors indicate a massive energy surge near the derelict station we're approaching. It looks like a disturbance on an unprecedented scale. Hawk clenched his fists, his mind racing. The Council's propaganda had always painted humanity as a volatile, unworthy species, yet it was precisely that volatile spark which had driven them to the edges of the galaxy. Then that's our target, he declared with an intensity that sent shivers down spines. That station holds the secrets they've hidden from us all these years. If there's any truth behind that old command, stay away from humans, we're going to unearth it and flip the script once and for all. The ship's engines roared as they veered towards the looming station, an ancient relic shrouded in mystery and silent menace. Amid the tension, Hawk's inner monologue pulsed with memories of past battles and losses, a time when doubt nearly extinguished his resolve. But each setback had only forged his determination stronger, a relentless drive that now fueled the mission. I've been called reckless, a liability, but I know better, he thought, steeling himself against the gravity of their undertaking. A cacophony of alarms broke the quiet intensity, and the crew scrambled with practiced efficiency. Shields at maximum. Prepare for docking. Hawk's command rang clear. As the ship edged closer to the battered station, fragments of ancient technology glowed faintly against the void, as if echoing the long-dead whispers of a civilization that had once ruled the cosmos. There's history in these walls, he murmured, almost to himself, his gaze fixed on the flickering data streams. And history is about to be rewritten. Within moments, the docking clamps engaged with a metallic jolt, and the team assembled in the narrow corridor of the station's entry bay. Every step resonated with a mix of anticipation and trepidation. Keep your eyes peeled, Hawk ordered. We're not just exploring ruins, we're chasing the truth. The weight of the moment hung heavy as they advanced deeper into the labyrinthine structure, each corridor a silent testament to the Ancient One's legacy and their enigmatic command. As they navigated the twisting halls, the subdued hum of energy conduits and the distant echo of unseen machinery created an eerie symphony that underscored the gravity of their mission. Over here, called out a voice from behind a shattered bulkhead. It was Milo, the tech specialist with a knack for deciphering the arcane, his tone a blend of awe and urgency. I've found something, an archive chamber, untouched by time. The room before them was bathed in a spectral light, ancient symbols etched into its walls pulsing softly in response to their presence. Hawk's eyes sparked with the fire of discovery. This is it, he breathed, stepping forward. The Council fears what they don't understand, and the Ancient Ones left us this command as both a warning and a challenge. We're here to find out which it is. The team huddled around a console, Milo's fingers dancing over controls as he unlocked layers of encrypted data. The archive revealed fragmented messages, a directive interwoven with cryptic warnings. The message was clear: humanity was excluded for a reason, but that exclusion was not a condemnation, it was a test, a measure of resilience in the face of an ancient, cataclysmic threat. A low murmur of disbelief and determination rippled through the group. They thought us too volatile, too dangerous, Hawk said, his voice rising with passion. But maybe it was exactly that fire in our bellies they needed, a spark to ignite the counterattack against a threat that devours worlds. His words, delivered with a mix of defiance and hope, electrified the crew. The mission had shifted from a mere exploration of relics to a fight for survival, a battle against forces that had lain dormant since time immemorial. The implications of the discovery were staggering. The station's records hinted at a primordial anomaly, a sentient convergence of biotech chaos that could consume entire star systems if left unchecked. The Ancient Ones had isolated humanity, not out of disdain, but to spare them from a destructive force they deemed uncontrollable. And yet, in their exclusion, they had underestimated the indomitable spirit of a species that thrived on overcoming impossible odds. Hawk's gaze swept over his team, each face lit by the ghostly glow of ancient light. "This is our moment," he declared, his tone a rallying cry. "We're not the reckless outcasts they made us out to be. We're the ones with the guts to stand up and fight for every scrap of hope in this universe. We're going to learn from the past and forge our own future." His words carried the weight of generations of human struggle and the promise of a new dawn. Milo's eyes shone with a mixture of scientific curiosity and raw excitement. "The data suggests that by integrating human ingenuity with these alien systems, we can activate a defense mechanism. It's like the Ancient Ones designed this as a challenge, a gauntlet for those brave enough to step forward." Lieutenant Kane, ever the stoic warrior with a sharp wit, added in his gruff manner, "Let's show them that our chaos isn't our weakness, it's our greatest weapon." As the team prepared to delve deeper into the station's inner sanctum, the air grew thick with anticipation. Every moment was a delicate balance between hope and peril. Hawk took a deep breath, his mind racing with the possibilities and the burden of responsibility. "We're on the edge of something monumental," he whispered, more to himself than to anyone else. "This isn't just about survival. It's about reclaiming our destiny and proving that humanity's spark can outshine even the darkest forces of the cosmos." The station's corridors beckoned them forward into the unknown, each step a bold defiance of the oppressive edict that had long confined them to the fringes. In that charged silence, with the pulse of ancient power guiding their way, Captain Darius, Hawk Blackwood and his crew embraced the challenge with unwavering resolve. Their journey had only just begun, and every heartbeat was a testament to the truth that humanity, fierce, resilient, and unapologetically defiant, would always rise, no matter the odds. And so, with the legacy of the Ancient Ones as both a riddle and a rallying cry, they pressed on into the depths of the forgotten station, ready to unmask the true purpose behind the cosmic command and, ultimately, to ignite a revolution that would echo through the stars. Captain Darius, Hawk Blackwood's footsteps echoed on the cold metal floor as he led his team deeper into the labyrinth of the derelict station. The dim, pulsating light from ancient conduits danced across their determined faces as they advanced, each step drawing them closer to the hidden archive. "Keep your wits about you," Hawk warned, his voice low and steady, laced with the weight of countless battles fought and lost. "Every shadow here could hide the truth we need, or a threat we can't afford." Milo's fingers flew over his portable interface as he scanned the archaic symbols etched into the walls. "Captain, these inscriptions, they're not random. They're a language, a record of warnings and protocols left by the Ancient Ones." His tone was part awe, part urgency. "This archive chamber is our key, not only to the secrets of the past but to understanding why we were cast aside." Hawk's jaw tightened. "I've heard enough council lies. They painted us as a dangerous anomaly, but if these records say anything, it's that our supposed volatility was the very trait needed to counter a force they feared." He paused, letting his words sink in. We're not here to be pawns, we're here to claim our rightful place in the cosmic order. The group reached a heavy door, its surface cracked and worn, yet imbued with an energy that resonated with forgotten power. With a nod from Hawk, Milo activated a series of codes. The door shuddered and groaned as it slowly swung open, revealing a chamber bathed in an ethereal glow. The team entered as one, the air around them humming with anticipation. Inside, a colossal console dominated the room, its interface a mosaic of symbols and data streams that pulsed in rhythm with the station's ancient heart. "This is it," Milo murmured, his eyes wide with both excitement and trepidation. "The archive we've been hunting for." Hawk stepped forward, his gaze locked on the console. "Show us what they left behind," he commanded, his tone resonating with a blend of authority and unyielding curiosity. Milo's hands danced across the controls, and slowly, a holographic display emerged from the console. The archive's message began to unfurl, a fragmented narrative of warnings, directives, and cryptic insights into an impending threat. A series of disjointed messages scrolled across the display, but one particular phrase caught Hawk's attention. "Stay away from humans," it read in bold, archaic lettering. Hawk's eyes narrowed as he recalled the Council's decree that had marginalized his people for so long. "They thought us unworthy," he muttered bitterly. "But maybe they were testing us all along." Milo's voice broke through his thoughts. "Captain, listen to this. The records indicate that this command was issued to isolate humanity from a primordial anomaly, a sentient convergence of biotech chaos that consumes entire star systems. The Ancient Ones feared that our inherent unpredictability was the one variable capable of countering this threat." A heavy silence fell over the room as the weight of the revelation settled on them. Lieutenant Kane, his eyes burning with a fierce determination, grunted. "So we were set aside not because we were weak, but because our very nature might be the only thing that can save the galaxy? Damn, that's one hell of a twist." Hawk's gaze hardened, his resolve deepening. "That's right. They meant for us to grow, to harness our chaos, so that one day we'd be ready to fight a war no one else could. The Council hid this truth, fearing our potential. They wanted to keep us on the fringes, but today, we reclaim it." His voice was both a promise and a challenge, a call to arms that ignited a spark within his crew. Milo continued, "There's more. The data suggests that the archive holds the key to activating a defensive mechanism designed by the Ancient Ones. It's a weapon of last resort, meant to neutralize the anomaly, but it requires a blend of human ingenuity and the alien technology embedded in these ruins." His eyes met Hawk's. "It's as if they knew exactly what we needed all along." A murmur of excitement rippled through the group. Hawk stepped closer to the console, his fingers hovering above the ancient symbols. "We've been underestimated for too long. Our past failures have only prepared us for this moment. It's time we show the galaxy what it means to be human." His words were measured, each syllable dripping with the promise of retribution and hope. The console's display shifted, revealing an intricate network of pathways and circuits, blueprints of a weapon that pulsed with dormant power. "This is the blueprint for the relic," Milo explained. "It's a hybrid device that merges the chaotic energy of humanity with the precision of alien tech. When activated, it can create a containment field powerful enough to suppress the anomaly." Kane's voice cut in, his tone rough and resolute. "So we build a weapon from the scraps of a forgotten era? Sounds like our kind of job." The room filled with a renewed sense of purpose as the team absorbed the implications. Each member felt the surge of destiny, as if the very fabric of the cosmos was aligning with their resolve. Hawk's eyes swept across his crew, meeting their gazes with an intensity that transcended fear. "This is our legacy. The Council may have tried to keep us confined, to keep our potential buried in darkness, but they underestimated our spirit. We will forge this weapon, not just to defend ourselves, but to protect every world under threat from that relentless, consuming force." His voice rang out, bold and unyielding, a rallying cry that echoed in the silent chamber. A brief pause ensued, filled only by the quiet hum of the ancient console and the steady rhythm of determined hearts. "Captain," Milo said softly, his tone laced with both wonder and defiance. If we succeed, if we activate this relic, we'll not only neutralize the anomaly, we'll prove that the power of human creativity and resilience is exactly what the universe needs. Hawk's jaw set firmly as he replied, "Then let's get to work. Every moment we delay is a moment the anomaly grows bolder. We're not just fighting for ourselves, we're fighting for every civilization that has ever been oppressed by outdated doctrine and cosmic prejudice." His eyes glinted with a mix of challenge and conviction, the fire of a warrior reborn. The team began to mobilize around the console, each member assuming their role with precision and urgency. As they pieced together the relic's mechanism, the archive's holographic messages continued to scroll, a constant reminder of the stakes at hand. The data was clear. The Council's decree was a ruse, a barrier erected out of fear rather than wisdom, and it was up to them to dismantle that barrier once and for all. Kane's voice, low and determined, resonated in the charged air. "We've been built for this moment. Every hardship, every scar, every loss has led us here. Let the galaxy see that our supposed chaos is nothing more than raw, unbridled strength." His words were punctuated by the sound of his gloved fists striking the console in determination. As the mechanism slowly began to take shape, Milo's technical expertise merged with the team's collective resolve. "The integration is almost complete," he announced, eyes darting over fluctuating readouts. "We're about to bridge the ancient technology with modern human ingenuity." His tone was measured yet electric with anticipation. Hawk leaned in closer, his voice a conspiratorial murmur meant only for his inner circle. "Remember, this isn't just about building a weapon. It's about reclaiming our narrative. They once wrote us off as unpredictable and dangerous. Today, we prove that unpredictability can be the catalyst for salvation." A palpable tension filled the space as the final sequence of codes was entered. The console pulsed brighter, bathing the team in an intense, otherworldly glow. The relic, a fusion of ancient power and human defiance, stirred to life with a low, resonant hum, a heartbeat echoing across the cosmos. For a moment, time seemed to stand still, the air thick with the promise of change. Milo's eyes widened as he observed the activation sequence. "It's working. The device is synchronizing with the station's energy fields," he said, voice trembling with both excitement and awe. "Captain, if this goes off, it might alter the very fabric of space around us." Hawk's gaze never wavered, fixed on the relic's emerging power. "Then let it be known that humanity isn't here to hide or cower. We're here to shape our destiny, no matter the cost." His declaration was both a promise and a challenge, a beacon for those who had been relegated to the margins for far too long. The relic's hum escalated into a crescendo, each pulse a testament to the centuries of suppression that had fueled this moment. Hawk's crew gathered around him, their expressions resolute, united by a shared purpose. "This is our turning point," he said, voice steady and unyielding. "From this moment on, the galaxy will witness the true power of a species that refused to be written off." In that charged instant, as the relic reached full activation, a surge of energy rippled through the ancient station. The holographic archive displayed one final, resounding message, a confirmation that the Ancient Ones had indeed left humanity a challenge, not a curse. And with that revelation, Captain Darius, Hawk, Blackwood and his team stood ready, their spirits ignited, to embrace the chaos and forge a future where humanity's defiant light would outshine the darkness of old. Captain Darius, Hawk, Blackwood stood before his assembled crew in the heart of the derelict station, the relic device's activation still echoing in their minds. "We've unearthed the truth," he began, his voice resonating with a mix of pride and urgency. "Now we must harness it." His eyes swept over the faces of those who'd fought alongside him through endless trials. In that moment, the team was no longer just survivors of an oppressive regime, they were the vanguard of humanity's resurgence. Milo's fingers continued to tap across his portable console as he recounted the archive's revelations. "The data clearly shows that the ancient directive was a test. It was meant to isolate us until we were strong enough to confront the anomaly, a force so vast it devours entire star systems." His words hung in the charged air, the gravity of the situation etched in every syllable. We've been given the means to activate a weapon that can contain this threat. But to do so, we need more than technology. We need unity, strategy, and the full force of human ingenuity. Kane's eyes, hard and unyielding, met Hawk's with a steely determination. Unity? We've been on the fringes for too long, waiting for permission to fight. Permission isn't coming from the Council, and it sure as hell isn't coming from those who fear what they don't understand. His voice was low, intense, a promise that every hardship they had endured would now be transformed into their strength. It's time we forge our own coalition, one that embraces every scrap of our chaotic brilliance. Hawk's gaze hardened as he considered Kane's words. I agree, he said firmly. We're not alone in this fight, and we can't do it as outcasts hiding in the shadows. We need to rally those who have also been relegated to the margins. This isn't just about us, it's about every world oppressed by outdated dogma and every soul silenced by cosmic prejudice. His words ignited a spark in the room, a shared realization that their struggle was part of something far greater. Milo looked up, his expression thoughtful. There are others, dissidents, renegade scientists, even factions within the Council who secretly question the command. We must find them and convince them that the threat we face isn't one they can ignore. His fingers hovered over his console as he accessed encrypted channels. I can try to reach out. I've got a few contacts who owe me favors from my days working with interstellar research units. They might be willing to risk their lives for a cause that promises not just survival, but a revolution. Kane cracked a wry smile. I like the sound of that. Let them know that we're not here to cower behind outdated treaties. We're here to take the fight to the enemy, and we're not waiting for a formal invitation. His tone was a mix of cynicism and hope, a battle-hardened acknowledgement of the costs of freedom. We need our best minds and our bravest hearts. I'm sure there's an alien engineer out there who can retrofit ancient tech with human firepower, and a renegade strategist who's tired of being told to sit back and watch. Hawk nodded, the conviction in his voice rising. I've already reached out to a few. Dr. Zarek Voss, a maverick whose work on xenobiological systems has challenged the Council's dogma, is one of them. His intellect is as formidable as his disdain for bureaucracy. And there's another, a former Council officer who risked everything to defect, determined to expose the hypocrisy of their order. His words were measured, each syllable a call to arms for those who had suffered under cosmic oppression. Our mission now is clear: build the relic weapon, form an alliance with those who have been cast aside, and prepare for the confrontation with the primordial anomaly. Milo's console beeped as incoming messages filtered through encrypted frequencies. His eyes widened as he read a dispatch from one of his contacts. Captain, I've got a response. A group calling themselves the Freestar Collective is willing to meet. They're a coalition of exiled scientists, warriors, and engineers from across the galaxy. They've been operating in secret, gathering resources and expertise far from the Council's reach. He looked up, a glimmer of excitement and relief mingling in his tone. This could be exactly what we need. Kane leaned forward, his voice rough with anticipation. Then let's not waste another second. Set a course for their rendezvous point. I want every capable hand on deck. We're about to show the galaxy that humanity isn't the liability they've made us out to be, it's the very force that will save us all. The conversation flowed rapidly as plans began to coalesce. Hawk's voice, steady and unwavering, rallied his team. We'll split into 2 units. One will stay here to continue refining the relic mechanism, integrating ancient technology with our modern firepower. The other will head out to meet the Freestar Collective. We need their expertise, their manpower, and their willingness to stand with us in defiance of the Council's tyranny. He paused, allowing the weight of his words to settle. Remember, every moment we delay, that anomaly grows stronger. We must act swiftly and decisively. Milo's nimble fingers danced across the console as he prepared the necessary communications and navigational coordinates. I'm on it, Captain. I'll ensure our message is secure and our position remains undisclosed until we're ready to mobilize. We can't afford any leaks, not now, when everything's on the line. His voice was calm, laced with a quiet confidence born of years navigating treacherous networks and dodging council surveillance. As the team divided their tasks, Hawk took a moment to address them one final time. We're standing on the brink of history. The relic we've activated is not just a weapon, it's a symbol of our defiance, a testament to the relentless spirit that has always defined humanity. The Council may have tried to suppress us, but our will is unbreakable. We will harness our chaos, our unpredictability, and transform it into the force that reshapes our destiny. His words, imbued with passion and resolve, resonated deeply with every member of his crew. There was a palpable electricity in the air, a shared understanding that this was more than a battle. It was the dawn of a new era. The relic mechanism continued its hum, a steady reminder of the power that lay dormant, waiting to be unleashed upon the universe. Kane grunted in agreement, his eyes blazing with fervor. Let the Council watch from their ivory towers while we build a new future, a future where every outcast, every rebel, every free spirit has a voice. We're not just fighting for survival, we're fighting for the right to define who we are, on our own terms. The team worked with a singular focus, driven by the knowledge that the stakes had never been higher. As Milo's console buzzed with incoming data and strategic updates from the Freestar Collective, Hawk allowed himself a brief moment of reflection. The path ahead was fraught with peril, but it was also a path of redemption, a chance to overturn the old order and prove that humanity's wild spirit was its greatest asset. In a quiet exchange, Milo confided, "Captain, it's incredible. Every line of code, every symbol in these archives, it's like the Ancient Ones knew we need this, that our chaos was the perfect counterbalance to the cosmic threat. They left us a blueprint, and now we're writing the next chapter." His voice trembled slightly with emotion, a mixture of scientific wonder and personal conviction. Hawk's gaze softened for a moment as he responded, "Our legacy isn't defined by the limits others place on us. It's defined by how we rise when the world tells us to bow down. Today, we stand together not as outcasts, but as the architects of our own destiny." His tone was both a promise and a challenge, a reminder that true power lay in unity, and the refusal to be bound by fear. As preparations continued, the signal from the Freestar Collective grew stronger, a beacon of hope and resistance amid a galaxy steeped in oppressive order. The team's resolve hardened, every member embodying the raw, untamed spirit of humanity. With the relic device steadily integrating ancient technology and human innovation, they were ready to take the next decisive step in their rebellion. Hawk concluded, "When we meet these allies, we'll show them what it means to be truly free. We'll combine our strengths, our scars, and our dreams into a weapon that not only counters the anomaly but dismantles the tyranny that's held us captive for far too long." His voice was resolute, echoing with the power of a leader who had weathered countless storms and emerged unscathed. In that moment, the future of the galaxy hinged on the bold, audacious gamble of a few defiant souls. They were no longer simply the rejected remnants of a fallen order, they were the vanguard of a revolution, united by a single, unyielding belief that humanity, with all its chaotic brilliance, was destined to rise and reshape the cosmos. And with that conviction burning brightly in their hearts, they pressed on, ready to forge alliances, craft weapons, and above all, reclaim the narrative of their own destiny. Captain Darius Hawk Blackwood led his team into the pulsating heart of the ancient megastructure, each step echoing the gravity of their mission. "This is it," he murmured, voice low yet charged with determination, as they navigated corridors that throbbed with mysterious energy. The relic device they had built back at Iron Dawn pulsed in tandem with the structure's core, a living testament to the fusion of human ingenuity and ancient alien technology. "Stay focused," he ordered, his tone leaving no room for doubt. "Because the answers we seek lie just beyond these walls." Milo's nimble fingers danced over his portable interface as he monitored the fluctuating energy readings. "Captain, the energy flux here is off the charts," he reported, his voice a mixture of excitement and caution. "It's like the structure is alive, reacting to our presence." The words carried an undercurrent of awe that resonated deeply with the crew, each member feeling the monumental significance of their breakthrough. Kane, his eyes scanning the ever-shifting data, interjected with a gruff laugh. Alive or not, it's our battlefield. Let's remind this ancient relic that humanity isn't here to tiptoe around relics of the past. We're here to reclaim our future. His statement, brash yet sincere, elicited a brief moment of silent agreement before the team pressed forward, their resolve hardened like tempered steel. In the maze of corridors, the holographic archive continued to play cryptic messages that had set them on this dangerous course. Suddenly, the ambient energy coalesced into a shimmering barrier before them, a force field that seemed to guard the central chamber. Hawk's gaze sharpened as he assessed the barrier's pulsing patterns. "This is no ordinary defense," he stated, his voice measured but laced with urgency. "It's as if the structure is challenging us, testing our worth." Milo's eyes widened in recognition of the symbols that danced across the barrier. "Captain, these symbols, they match the ones in the archive. It's a puzzle, a kind of lock. We need to solve it to proceed." The challenge was clear: decode the ancient algorithm embedded in the structure's energy matrix. Hawk nodded, feeling the weight of destiny. "Then we have no choice but to prove that our chaos is our strength. We solve this, or we turn back and let our enemies dictate our fate." Kane's voice cut through the tension. "We didn't come this far to be stopped by a few blinking symbols. Let's crack this code and show the galaxy what we're made of." His tone was both a dare and an affirmation, spurring the team into action. Working together, Milo and Kane combined their expertise, Milo's deep knowledge of ancient languages and Kane's intuitive understanding of alien tech, to decipher the shifting patterns. The process was arduous, each symbol a test of their collective ingenuity and determination. As the team labored over the intricate code, Hawk's mind drifted to the revelations of the archive. The command, "Stay away from humans," was not merely a decree of exclusion, but a layered challenge designed to test humanity's mettle. He recalled the Council's derisive dismissal of human potential and felt a surge of defiant pride. "They thought our unpredictability was a flaw," he whispered, more to himself than anyone else. "But it's our wild spirit that makes us capable of change." Minutes stretched into what felt like hours until, with a final burst of collaborative brilliance, Milo's console beeped in triumph. "I've done it!" he exclaimed, voice trembling with exhilaration. "The code is solved. The barrier is dissipating." The shimmering field wavered and then gradually vanished, revealing a massive chamber bathed in an ethereal glow. Inside the chamber, the very air vibrated with latent power. Hawk stepped forward, feeling the magnitude of the moment. "This is where the Ancient Ones left their ultimate test," he declared, voice resonating with purpose. "They designed this structure to determine if humanity was ready to harness its true potential against the primordial threat." His words were more than an observation, they were a rallying cry, a summons to embrace their destiny. The chamber's center featured an imposing pedestal upon which rested an artifact, a crystalline core that pulsed with an inner light, surrounded by arcane circuits. Milo's eyes shone with scientific fervor. "This is the heart of the relic. It's the power source that will enable us to activate the containment field against the anomaly." His words were punctuated by a palpable sense of urgency, as if the core itself whispered promises of salvation and retribution. Kane stepped closer, his expression fierce. "We built this weapon from scraps and dreams. Now let's show the universe that our rebellion isn't just about survival, it's about rewriting destiny." His tone was raw and unyielding, carrying the weight of every battle fought and every loss endured. The artifact, seemingly inert until now, began to respond to the combined energies of the ancient technology and the human-made modifications. Hawk's voice grew even more resolute. "Our ancestors, the Ancient Ones, believed that only those who could embrace chaos and order simultaneously would be worthy of wielding this power. Today, we prove that humanity, with all its imperfections, is exactly that force." His declaration reverberated through the chamber, instilling courage in every heart present. As the artifact's light intensified, a sudden tremor rippled through the structure. The ancient circuits sparked with energy, and the chamber vibrated as if awakening from a long slumber. Milo's console emitted a series of urgent beeps. "Captain, the artifact is overloading. It's drawing power from the very fabric of the megastructure." His voice was laced with both wonder and alarm. Before Hawk could respond, the crystalline core erupted in a surge of energy, enveloping the team in a radiant aura. For a heartbeat, time itself seemed to suspend as the light bathed them in a kaleidoscope of visions, glimpses of the primordial anomaly, the chaos it wrought, and the desperate hope of a civilization on the brink. In that transcendent moment, the team realized that the ancient test was not merely a challenge of intellect but a crucible for their collective spirit. When the light subsided, the team found themselves standing before a transformed chamber. The artifact now pulsed steadily, its power harmonized with the megastructure. Hawk's voice broke the silence, soft yet firm. "This is our turning point. The relic has accepted us, confirmed that our chaotic brilliance is the key to unlocking the containment field. We now have the means to challenge the primordial anomaly and dismantle the oppressive order that sought to keep us hidden." His words resonated with the promise of a new dawn, a future where humanity's resilience would redefine the cosmic balance. Milo, still catching his breath from the surge, added, "The data confirms that this activation creates a network of energy nodes capable of neutralizing the anomaly. It's as if the artifact is an extension of our own spirit, ready to defend the galaxy from the chaos that once threatened to consume it." His voice trembled with a mix of scientific wonder and raw emotion, underscoring the monumental nature of their achievement. Kane's response was fierce and unyielding. "Let the Council and every oppressor know that we are no longer the outcasts they dismissed. We are the harbingers of change, the warriors who turned our curse into our greatest weapon." His words, sharp as a blade, cut through the lingering silence, igniting a fire of defiance in every heart present. Hawk's gaze swept across his team, each member illuminated by the artifact's steady glow. "Our next step is clear," he declared, his voice imbued with the certainty of destiny. "We deploy the network, activate the containment field, and send a message to every corner of the galaxy. Humanity stands united, unbroken, and ready to reclaim its rightful place among the stars." His command was a fusion of strategy and inspiration, carrying the weight of a revolution poised to reshape the future. In that pivotal moment, as the ancient power and human resolve merged into a singular, unstoppable force, the team felt an unshakable certainty. They were no longer merely survivors or rebels. They were the embodiment of a legacy that transcended millennia. The artifact's steady pulse was a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, the indomitable spirit of humanity could ignite a revolution. With newfound determination, the team moved to secure the artifact and integrate its power into their systems. Every command was deliberate, every action a step toward a destiny that defied the cosmic hierarchy. Hawk's voice, resolute and unwavering, echoed through the chamber as he spoke. "Today, we embrace our fate. Today, we become the architects of a future where our chaos is our greatest strength, and our unity is the shield that protects the innocent. Let this relic be the spark that ignites the fire of revolution across the galaxy." The words hung in the charged air, a promise of liberation that reverberated beyond the ancient megastructure. In that timeless moment, the team stood united, poised to unleash a power that would not only neutralize the primordial threat but also shatter the chains of oppression that had bound them for so long. Their journey had reached its apex, a turning point that heralded the dawn of a new era, where humanity's defiant light would forever outshine the darkness of the old order. "Captain Darius," Hawk Blackwood's voice rang out with unwavering resolve as he addressed his assembled coalition over the comm link. "This is our moment, our final stand," he declared, his tone measured but laced with the fire of destiny. "The relic is ready, the network is in place, and the primordial anomaly is on the move. Today, we strike not just for survival, but for the very soul of our galaxy." A charged silence fell over the team as each member absorbed the gravity of the situation. Milo's steady fingers tapped out final confirmations on his interface, his voice calm yet intense. "Captain, the energy nodes are fully synchronized. The artifact's power is now integrated with our systems, and we have a direct feed into the anomaly's trajectory. All readings indicate that the force is advancing at an alarming rate, and time is no longer on our side." Kane's voice, rough and resolute, cut through the static. "We've built our weapon from scraps and rebellion, and now it's time to unleash it. I say we take the fight straight to that beast. Let the Council's doubts burn in its wake as we show the universe that humanity isn't a liability, it's a force of nature. His words, punctuated by an undercurrent of defiance, fueled the resolve of every soul on board. Hawk's gaze swept over the faces of his comrades, each reflecting a blend of determination and raw courage. Remember, he intoned, our past was defined by those who tried to hold us back, but today, we write our own destiny. Our chaotic brilliance, our resilience, and our unity are what will overcome this threat. His voice softened momentarily, a quiet promise resonating beneath the fierce cadence. Every battle, every scar, every sacrifice has led us to this point. We are the architects of our future, and nothing, not even a primordial force, will stand in our way. Milo interjected, urgency threading his tone as he relayed critical updates. Captain, the anomaly's core is stabilizing into a coherent energy mass. It's preparing to breach the containment field. We need to activate the final sequence now, or the entire system will collapse under its own power. He paused, eyes scanning the rapidly updating data streams. We're looking at a matter of seconds before it becomes uncontrollable. Then we have no time to lose. Hawk responded, his voice rising with an edge of determination that cut through the tension. Kane, prepare the launch protocols for the hybrid strike module. Milo, coordinate the energy surge through the network. I want every system operating at maximum capacity. This is the culmination of everything we've fought for. His command was both a rallying cry and a precise order, a synthesis of strategy and unyielding will. A rapid flurry of coordinated activity ensued over the comlink. Kane's gruff voice returned with a steady report. The strike module is primed and ready. We're holding position on the front lines, awaiting your command to fire. His tone was laced with an undercurrent of fierce optimism that belied the gravity of their undertaking. Milo's voice followed in quick succession. Energy channels are green. I'm channeling the artifact's power into the containment grid. The relic is harmonizing with the anomaly's frequency. We're about to see what our combined might can achieve. His words conveyed both the thrill of scientific discovery and the heavy burden of responsibility that now rested on their shoulders. Hawk took a deep breath, his focus sharpening as he peered at the holographic projection of the anomaly that flickered before him. This is our final test, he murmured, more to himself than to anyone else. The Ancient Ones left us a challenge, and today we answer it with everything we are. He allowed a brief pause for the weight of his words to settle over the team before he continued, his tone resolute. Initiate the final sequence. Let's turn this tide once and for all. The silence on the comm link was electric as Milo initiated the sequence. A low hum vibrated through the vessel, steadily building into a crescendo of energy that rippled across the network. Sequence initiated, Milo confirmed, his voice charged with excitement and gravity. The relic's power is now at full throttle. At that exact moment, the containment grid shimmered into existence around the anomaly. The colossal energy mass, pulsating with the raw force of creation and destruction, began to slow, its chaotic motion gradually coalescing into a more stable form. The hybrid strike module, guided by Kane's steady hands and unwavering focus, locked onto the anomaly's core with pinpoint precision. Target locked, Kane reported, his voice a blend of determination and anticipation. All systems green. Awaiting your command, Captain. Hawk's eyes burned with an inner light as he looked upon his team, each person a testament to humanity's indomitable spirit. Fire! He commanded, his voice echoing with authority and conviction. In that split second, time seemed to stand still as the strike module launched, cutting through the void toward its target with the precision of a vengeful arrow. A tremendous surge of energy erupted as the hybrid strike module collided with the anomaly's core. The explosion was both cataclysmic and beautiful, a burst of light and power that radiated outward, disintegrating the chaotic mass into a cascade of harmless, sparkling fragments. Milo's console lit up with streams of data confirming what they had dared to hope. The anomaly was being contained, its threat neutralized by the very force it had once sought to unleash. For a moment there was silence, the calm after the storm, punctuated only by the soft hum of stabilizing systems. Then Hawk's voice rang out, filled with a mix of triumph and relief. "It's over," he declared, his words carrying the weight of hard-won victory. "We've done it. The threat is contained, and the Council's oppressive order has been shattered by our resolve." Kane's deep laugh followed, raw and unbridled, as he responded, "Let them watch from their high towers as we rebuild the universe on our terms. We've turned their doubts into dust, and now every outcast, every rebel, every free spirit can stand proud." His voice was both a victory cry and a promise of the revolution that was now in full swing. Milo's voice, still tinged with the scientific wonder that had driven him from the start, added softly, "The data shows that the relic has not only neutralized the anomaly but has also recalibrated the energy networks across the galaxy. Our work today sends a message that the chaotic spirit of humanity is not a flaw, but the very force that can save worlds." His words resonated with the quiet awe of one who has witnessed history unfold. Hawk allowed himself a moment of reflection, his thoughts intertwining with the collective hopes of his team. "Today, we have reclaimed our narrative. No longer will we be defined by the fear of our potential or the constraints of outdated edicts. We are the architects of our future, the torchbearers of a revolution that will spread like wildfire across the stars." His voice was steady, a beacon of inspiration that transcended the immediate victory. As the systems began to stabilize and the ripple effects of their success spread throughout the network, Hawk continued, "Our journey doesn't end here. The Council may try to rebuild their order, and new challenges will inevitably arise. But remember this: our unity, our creativity, and our unyielding spirit are the true weapons of change. Today, we've shown that humanity can turn chaos into power and despair into hope." The comlink buzzed with confirmations and acknowledgments from allied factions and distant outposts. The Free Star Collective's message came through, a resounding cheer echoing across the void. "We stand with you, Captain. Your victory is our victory." Their words, filled with the promise of collaboration and shared destiny, added a final, triumphant note to the unfolding saga. Kane's voice, full of resolve and quiet mirth, closed the exchange. "Now, let's get to work building the future. The universe is wide open, and it's ours for the taking." His declaration was met with a chorus of determined voices, each one pledging to carry the torch of rebellion and hope into the uncharted expanse. In that defining moment, Captain Darius Hawk Blackwood and his team stood as living proof that the spark of humanity, when kindled by defiance and unity, could illuminate even the darkest corners of the cosmos. Their victory was not just the defeat of a primordial threat, it was a resounding affirmation that those cast aside, those deemed too chaotic or unpredictable, held within them the power to reshape destiny itself. And as the echo of their triumph reverberated across the galaxy, the legacy of their rebellion promised to inspire generations of free spirits who dared to challenge the impossible.